Hey guys, Ashlane here. It's the 50/50 2.0 event recap. I'm going to bring you 5 of my favorite 3-star attacks from this amazing event. And these attacks in their own right, these 3-star attacks, 2 by Town Hall 10, 3 by Town Hall 9, could be an episode by themselves. But today I'm going to bring you all 5 as a bonus recap of the war. We're going to talk about the 5 strategies used. We're going to go a little bit in depth and give tips and strategy advice for those wanting to replicate these strategies for themselves. We're going to start off by this attack by Lil Herber. It's a Hocus Pocus attack. We have 2 jump spells, 2 rage, 1 freeze. Note the hero levels 11 and 13 against this close to max defense base with over level 40 combined heroes. So this is going to be such an impressive 3-star attack, and let's cover the first key here. We deployed 1 max golem, and then we allowed a few of the witches to clear out the outlying units, deploying due east, and then we allowed a lot of distance between the skeletons and the witches. Now, the giant bombs are your #1 enemy, I guess tied with the multi-target Inferno Towers in this attack. You can want to note the rage and jump and freeze placements on this attack. Go ahead and rewind. These Hocus Pocus, aka Mass Witch raids, are a ton of fun to watch, and they're not quite as easy as they may seem, but they're incredibly viable if you don't have max heroes and you're targeting one of these resource ring bases that are so popular in the game right now. Now, we covered the strategy key, allowing some distance, as much summoning distance for those witches as possible when you deploy them. But another thing to note here is these, like I said, the spell location. You have the 2 jump spells used to get into that center location. You can see his rages were used in the center, where you're early on in the attack, I should say, towards the center of the map, where you're engaging the most heavy concentration of defensive firepower. That's obviously going to be your primary focus of spell usage in the raid, because you want to get the best bang for your buck. Let's go ahead and speed this replay up a little bit. As you can see, it's going to be a very successful attack, and you can tell by the number of witches still standing at the end of this raid. Wow, what an impressive attack by Lil Herber from ByeForever Clan. The next one's going to be Sam I Am, and it's going to be an equally impressive raid by Sam I Am. Unfortunately, I'm not going to bring you my raids, because one was a disconnect and one was just a total ash fail. It was a 1-star, so I'm not going to be bringing you those. Let's focus on the amazing attacks these great clan did in this great event. So this is going to be another 3-star attack. You want to note the army composition. 2 golems, we have the hogs, and a few balloons in there, and we have a heal, 2 jumps, 1 rage, 1 lightning. Now, notice this base. We're going to see a Town Hall 9 version of this base shortly thereafter, or the next replay or the one after that, but notice how he takes out, using balloons and a few hogs, some of the outlying defensive units. And here comes the giant, and you want to note he does have 7 max giants in his clan castle as well there. So here comes the giant portion of the raid, along with both of the heroes. Now, their job is going to be to take out the clan castle troops, the heroes, the opposition, the defending heroes, the town hall, and one of the multi-target Inferno Towers. Now, once that Inferno Tower is down, he's going to delay just a hair and then start deploying all those hogs around the edges of the base, starting due south, clearing out all those defensive units. And here come a few due west as well. They're going to make their way into the center of the base. You'll note that Sam I Am only has 1 heal spell. He's going to use it at the most critical defensive concentration on the map. That's a little bit south of the town hall there. You can see where the X-bow was, and now he has his queen still standing. Royal Cloak ability not used. He's going to be able to use that to get into that crossbow, take out that last Inferno Tower, which was the last really big defensive liability for those hogs. Now you can see the hogs are going to make their way to that Wizard Tower with a lot of low health left, but they're just going to get it down. And at this point, the Queen Royal Cloak has been used, but those 3 or 4 hogs, along with that cleanup crew, he held back a few of the wizards, are going to do a number on the rest of this base. He actually has plenty of time, because the first portion of this base, he was able to multitask, if you will, deploying some of those hogs while some of the first phase of the attack was still going on. Wow, what a beautiful 3-star attack by Sam I Am. Wow, I'm so impressed by these raids I'm going to bring you. Like I said, each of them could stand alone as a video episode by themselves. So this is a Ling Li I hope I'm pronouncing that right, 86 raid. Another really nice raid here. It's going to be another mix of witches and hogs with the heroes. You will want to note here that the heroes, once again, 10 and 12, now queen and king respectively, is going to go ahead and do a lure from the south, and is going to be, on all these Town Hall 9 videos, I believe all three of them, at least two, have a really nice lure to start the raid out, and one is going to be a little unorthodox. It's going to be in the middle of the raid. But you will want to note that he uses he has one golem in the clan castle, so it's going to be kind of a surgical GoHo type attack right here for Town Hall 9. Now, this base, although it's not max or anything, it is equal on him as far as being the mirror. You want to note that they both are 31. Now, why does he engage the base in the northwest where he decides to with the golem there and the heroes? Well, it's because he wants to take out that archer queen and hopefully perhaps deploy, or trigger I should say, some of those giant bombs that may be in that area. Now the queen is going a little bit off track there, but that's not the end of the world. He's going to use his barbarian iron fist ability to take down the opposition queen, and here come the hog portion of the raid. Now you will want to note that Ling Li brings 4 heal spells and is going to try to use them as craftfully as possible here. He's going to miss with one kind of, or not miss, but the hogs ended up being taken out by one of those giant bombs. So the heal was useless, but having 4 heals, it gives you a little bit of leeway. You can actually use, didn't have to use a jump spell, which actually benefited him great here because he was able to have an ineffective heal spell and still pull off the 3-star attack. So at this point he's around 60%. He still has about 4 or 5 hogs left on the board. He still has a witch in the south. He has the archer queen sitting on the royal cloak ability, and guess what? That cannon is the last defensive unit on the map. So it's looking like another 3-star attack from Ling Li. Let's go ahead and speed things up here. Let's see if he does decide to use the Archer Royal Cloak ability. She's going to make her way towards the eastern eastern side of the map, rather, and these skeletons are going to finish off the job. Hogs coming in, and boom, 3-star attack. Another beautiful attack. This one's going to be by Lackshay. This one's going to be a little bit interesting, right? We have the GoHo, surgical GoHo type army again here, but you will note he did have about 7 balloons there. He's going to come in due west with the balloons, going to take out some of these these lone defensive units. As you can see, there's just not a high concentration of air targeting defensive units in the western hemisphere of this base. So he's actually going to be able to lure most of that clan castle using a few hogs and those balloons. But more importantly, he's going to take out a lot of defensive units for only having to use about 30 or so, or a little bit more than 30 or so, troop space. But it was an interesting lure strategy as he did clear out most of the western half of the map. Now you want to note at this point in the attack, he's sitting on a couple witches, 19 hogs, 5 wizards, and his heroes with 3 heal spells for the hog portion of the attack, obviously, and 1 jump spell. Now he has that max golem in the clan castle once again, just as the replay before. Going to go ahead and deploy that max golem into the archer queen. If we pause here and evaluate the map where we are right now, we have the lure just finishing up. We're going to make sure we use some wizards to take care of those mines, take care of anything that could distract the king and cause him to go anywhere but the defensive opposing queen, because that's obviously his job as the kill team, is to take out that queen and clear the way for the hog portion of the raid. So here comes the archer queen. She's going to do some work in the background there. He still has some of the witches protected there at the due south end of the map. They're going to kind of take a stroll with the queen there, but that's not a big deal. The coast is clear to start deploying the hogs here. Once again, 3 of the heal spells is actually pretty nice as far as I've seen these attacks mostly used with 2 heal spells. You can see the double giant bombs here are going to present a little bit of an issue with the hogs, but he deployed the hogs in a fashion where they're so spread out that 1 double giant bomb isn't going to ruin the entire hog portion of the raid. You can see he really fortifies that center area of the base with those heal spells, and the barbarian king is going to actually go towards the eastern side of the base, and that actually works out really well. The barbarians are going to do some extra damage, and look at that, all the defensive units are down off the board. What a crafty, interesting attack, using the balloons in the beginning and then using the hogs, the GoHo portion portion of the raid. So starting out these attacks with balloons seems to be a popular method, so I guess it's a GoHoLo attack, and the third attack is going to actually demonstrate that even better as far as utilizing the balloons. Look at this, it's 18 balloons, 15 hogs. It's going to be surgical, go, low, ho, I don't know. I'm bad with acronyms. I'm sure you will all correct me in the comments. But once again, this is the base I was talking about by Brian Horst, and he's going to have a really nice attack here yet again, using balloons this time to take care of all those outlying defensive units. So like he said, he had 18 balloons, but look at how much damage he's going to do, how much bang for his proverbial buck he's going to get out of these balloons. They're going to take down about half of the defensive units on the map. All he has to really deal with as far as defensive units left is one wizard tower and a couple X-bows as far as things that can really cause havoc to his hog portion of the raid, or the surgical GoHo. Now this base was attacked previously, so he knew where that giant bomb was, goes ahead and triggers them with a hog or two. Look at this attack. It's really executed really nicely here. He drops a couple of the witches up due north. It's going to be a really patient but really well executed lure here. He's going to let those witches go. He knows he has more firepower than the opposition, so it's kind of just a waiting game up here, but Brian's very patient and knows that he's going to win in the long run. So a lot of people I notice will spam troops, get a little nervous when that happens, but as long as you have more witches or more firepower, you can see he has like a couple archers more than the opposition. He knows that's going to be plenty. Comes in due east with the heroes. Barbarian King once again doing the job of taking out that the opposing queen, and the outlying structures are not going to cause any type of distraction because they were already taken out by the balloon portion of the raid. He's still sitting on 2 balloons, which he's going to scatter in very nicely as this raid progresses. You can see all the heal spells are going to just keep those hogs up, even as they're in the heaviest defensive concentrated area of the base. The Archer Queen's still alive due east, but she's actually used her Royal Cloak, so she's going to go down very shortly. There she goes. So at this point, he's relying on the hogs and a cleanup crew of a few wizards and that last extra balloon to help out. I think he's going to deploy that balloon, right into that mortar tower, the last defensive unit standing on the board at this time. But those hogs, he still has, about 10 or so hogs still standing. That's going to be plenty to take down the opposing king, and then it's just going to be a field day, grabbing all these percentage points still on the board. He's at 80%, and he has at least 30 seconds left. Only going to need 20 of it. And guys, I hope you enjoyed these amazing event replays, these great 5 3-star attacks. Please follow me on Twitter, join my Bindle group, and hey, tell your clanmates about me, guys. I appreciate it, and as always, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.